Crypto market just bounced off from that retest level. We broke higher previously. We came down. Then we retested that range and bounced. Now this bounce is really interesting because we are watching coins moving 10, 15, 20, 30, 40% in a single day with macro events. You get the Fed coming out and giving their highlight, which is 75 basis point hike. And then you get earnings from big companies, Microsoft, Google, Tesla. You get that. And it kind of like, okay, some of them missed their earnings, but it's not actually a huge fall in most of them. And with Fed going with 75 basis point with this inflation rate is dovish. We all know that. And that's why you are observing that the market is going up. So if you're confused, okay, that's 75. Historically, it's 5, 10, 15, and 75 is too big. Yeah, that is. But during the time of heavy inflation, if you look back in history, we have gone to 8-10% in interest rates. So that's in short term, like 6 months to a year. So right now, we are not doing that, meaning Fed had to do 100 or 125, but they don't have that ability because if they do, the entire economy drops. So if we now go look at this on a weekly scenario to understand, okay, just not going to hype, to see the reality. Okay, some of them are still in green. Say ETC is one of the example where it's actually running really high. And if you go check that, it's like $32. We were around 20 last week and now we reached here. So this market is flipping. If you are looking through this scenario, you'll understand like, okay, we need to break higher in RSI. We need to see this repeating here. And if that happens, that's going to be a major change and we are going for a heavy run to the upside where all these indicators suggest you, okay, we are going that way. Now, if you're going to the details, it's like the price action is showing you we are going to the upside. The live session right now for all these coins are showing you the active volume is increasing. So you can go check them based on volume and kind of neglect those with too tiny volume and look for which coins which are getting interest from the market. Because it's not we who decides, it's the market. And as the market decides, that goes higher. So where the money is flowing, you align yourself to that area. Now, if you are looking at this, XRP is still there. Within this one, you need to understand this is a stable coin. These are stable coin. This one is a stable coin. So if you actually take them out, XRP is truly here at the top. And the interesting part here is ETC actually came up here. All the other coins which are listed here is in top 10. Bitcoin, Ether, then XRP. But right now you have ETC coming from 20, below 20s to this range. So soon, I think it's going to come up in the rankings too. So as this trickles down through the market, you're going to observe a lot of people changing what they were saying for the last 6 months. As you break through this, the ability of the market to do this kind of a run up is coming. And now you do know the euphoric targets, but we are not looking at the euphoric targets. The coins, the wicks have gone till that range, but let's be a little realistic and look at conservative stuff. Even that one would give you a major rally. So from this point, if you are in the market, you really have an opportunity to make 70 to 100x on average towards 500 to 1000x, because when the market does 100x, some of these coins are gonna go nuts and do 1000x. Now you don't want 1000x, literally. Even 50x, imagine what's your portfolio right now. If that does a 50x, what will that be? Will that change your life? If that does 10x, will that change your life? If so, you don't need 100x. You're correctly positioned to get that 10x. So if you are right now in this market, make sure you are in coins where the liquidity is safe enough in that exchange too. Make sure you can take your profits out, not just watch the profits grow and you are not able to take profit. That's a bad stuff. Now, anyone who's holding XRP, this is a great news. We already know how Ripple is working, and some of the comments here kind of highlights going back to that API, right? Ripple's API, which is really interesting to actually see what's going in here. Fees and FX rate is going through there, and the payment settlement. That's great, because after that it's directly going to the receiver's end. That's huge, guys. If you actually understand, if Swift is going to do this, that means the API for payment settlements is going to be used by them, but it's from RippleNet. That's huge, heavy. Even though it's coming from their customers, it's getting executed via this. Even the Ether smart contracts, the tests from the central banks have shown us that. We know that things are changing, and we know it's changing for good. And if you understand that, yes, you may have short durations where the market goes crazy and then the market is going to drop. So before that, make sure you take the profits. Now, the next important date would be around August 10, which is going to be another inflation announcement for July in US. And I think it can go high. Now, maybe I'm completely wrong, but if the inflation is higher than 9.1, Fed have to do another 75 basis point. But this time I was thinking they're going to do 100 basis point. They didn't do that. So it was dovish, which means next time they're going to do 75 or 100. Most likely 75, because they already did the 75. And within that duration, because the next hike is not coming soon, it's maybe after 55 days. That means this rate 75 basis point hike will get into the market around 15-20 days, and people will feel the pinch. If you have a mortgage payment, that's going to go up. If you have any type of loans from the bank for cars, personal loan, whatever, credit card, anything, all of them are going to go up, and your purchasing power is going to go down. Now, if you think properly, that means money is going to be short for a lot of people. At the same time, job layoffs, inflation will stay the same, because it's not only money printing. Right now, yes, money printing is a big factor. But right now, you have the supply chain issues, war going on. The health issues around the globe still coming back up. All this are there. If you understand this, next 6 months to 12 months, and if you are prepared, that's going to be a great opportunity for you coming in. Maybe early next year, mid next year. That's going to be huge opportunity. So that means this year, as the market goes back up and does this dramatical numbers, take your profits. If you're 10x up, take something. If you're 5x up, take something. We have seen people going up 10x, 5x without taking profits. But if you do take some at that 5x, imagine you have 100,000 and it goes to a 500,000. You just take your money, move out. Fine, that's great. Then let the market ride. If you go to 1 million, take 200, 250 out, and then let the market ride. So if you do this and the price goes up and you're taking profit continuously, now we have a huge dry powder when the market drops here, or any other market. Let it be real estate, let it be stock market. It's already bouncing. If you go look at Netflix and others, you actually understand, okay, they came to a major support, critical support. They bounced from there. And that's what I see happening here. Because right now, just to reach here, it's 70x. I'm personally happy with a 50x in XRP. Now, if it does 100, whatever, that's huge. But I'm really happy with just 50x. So that means if the price goes to around $15 to $20 inside that range, we are all set. Good. Because we've been loading up on XRP. Now, if you actually break this down one by one, there's Bitcoin USD on a daily. So if you look at this, yes, we went up, we hit a resistance, we came back lower. When we came back lower, we did a fake out. Now that is a key there. And the fake out happened with volume. The break back above happened with big volume, even higher than the last one, the fake out. 2, it was based on a macro indicator. So most likely, now you made a higher low and a higher high prior to that, which means most likely you're going to go hit the next level of 28 to 30,000. Now that in Bitcoin means all coins are going to get a lot of room to run. So if you take Ether for that aspect, it can go somewhere 2,200 to 2,400. That's the first major resistance which we are going to see. But that's 35-40% run just in Ether. And if you look at the RSI, yes, we did something same. We went above, but it showed like it's a fake out, but we again faked out to the downside and went back up. Now that's on a daily. But if you step back on a 3-day chart for the altcoin market cap, this is clear. Like, okay, we are bouncing, we are making that pattern here. The RSI broke higher from that trading range. MACD is crossing to the upside. You get all these indicators, but what happens? Majority kind of neglects this. Why? Because they don't take that step back. They don't zoom out and look at what's happening in the macro. Right now, even though the market is bouncing, you may say I missed the bottom, but no, you're still close to the bottom. Imagine asking this question to yourself that at this point here, you say, okay, I'm slowly missing the opportunity. Then you kind of miss a huge range, because right now the price is somewhere here, and this is the range we are talking about. So if you buy anyway close here, in my opinion, that's like, okay, close to the bottom. Now, you may not get the absolute bottom or the absolute tops, but that's great. If you can manage to get somewhere close to here and somewhere close to this range at the resistance. Now, I'm not saying for that 100x, you're going to get entire things. Here, you're going to still manage to get 30x. Now, that is not a small thing, because 30x in altcoin market does mean 50, 100, 1000x in different coins. So if you manage to be in here, that's great. Now, what's the next key stuff which we have to keep in mind? In next 14 days, yes, we are going to get announcement for the inflation data. By that time, if we break this one, we're going to come lower, retest that. If we don't, then yeah, red days, you're going to continue inside this pattern for some more time, and that's painful. But if you look at the last scenario here, that's really interesting, right? You went below the moving average on a weekly 21-day moving average. You went below that. It was close to the support. You came back up, and that was the all-time highs, and you broke high. Great. So if you look at this, it didn't happen close to that trend line. Triangle. Here, there's an ascending triangle. This was same ascending triangle. Here you have the space. You are now below the 21-day moving average, going back up to test that. And if you break that, you are reaching somewhere close here in the timeline. By December, you're already at the all-time highs or way higher. Now that shows the market is going to run. Now, if that happens before September, you're going to reach and test the all-time highs. That means November to December, you're somewhere close to the new highs. Because when the market runs, it does not take too much time. This is where a lot of people actually have too much uncertainties. But if you actually take this into account, the first entire wave was like, say, 300, 400 days, close to that. And next two waves came inside 350 days. So if you take that into perspective and say, like, this is the accumulation range, you broke higher, you do around 700 days of wave one, and say, let's assume like we're going to complete and retest that by late September, early October. That's like 800 days, close to that, which means in next 400 days, you're going to complete wave 2 and wave 3. Now, that's 1 year. But understand, in between, you're going to get major corrections. The market is going to be volatile. But if you hold through that, your trend line is going up. You will move above and below that, but taking profit when you are way above that is what gives you that ability. So one of the easy things which people ask me, like, okay, Dan, where can I take profits? Where should I take profit? Now, one of the easy stuff, you don't need much of anything, no too much stuff. You just go look at a chart. So you can take it a daily chart, you can take it a 3-day chart. It's up to you, because you all actually think like, okay, what's your time frame? If your time frame is too far, now you need to ask that question like, okay, should I take profit here or not? Say here, if you are looking at this point, the price was around 300, 250% above the moving average, 21-day moving average. Now that's so high. If you take it precisely, yeah, say 240%. So that means whenever XRP price is that high from the 21-day moving average, so say around 200 and above, you have a huge chance of price slowing down and slowing down heavily. Fine. So if you tend to wait till that range of 200 to 50%, then that's going to be a great area to take profit. Now that's swing trade, whatever you call, you still get time. You wait through the upside. When it's reaching a bubble territory on a short term, you take that, you step out. Maybe in a month, two, the price drops, you can buy back. Now, if you're like, no, I don't want to go through that. That's great. This would be your trend line. Imagine this is the trend line and you are only taking profits when it's going up. 1, 2, and 3. You take profit. So next time when you're going up from here, don't consider this as a trend line. Most likely this would be the trend line which we are going to go after. Now, we don't really know how it's going to turn out, but one of the best chances or the possibilities would be based on this. You broke this one, so next time you may revolve around this. So by the time you reach higher, it would be something like, now, no one is sure about anything, but imagine you do this stuff, you go up, you test this, break that, retest that, bounce higher, come back lower, test this and go up. That's a huge possibility. But within this retest sometimes can be like this. That's painful. This retest can be like this. We don't know how it's going to turn out. But if that happens in the market like this, you really don't want to miss the next wave. And almost every assets do well. But if you put the numbers, if you look at what we've been talking about for a long period of time, XRP does one of the magical stuff in any part of the bull run, but especially at the end. Now, why magical? Because here in the early cycle, most of the other coins do well, XRP does not. And that's a buying time for you. If you are in the other assets, you have more purchasing power, which you can use to buy this. Then what happens? This goes up when others are slowing down or when others are slow. So in the general market, you do see this. And as the market goes up, it may not be XRP moving first, but you will get profits from a lot of different coins which you have in your portfolio. But if you are in so risky coins where the projects are running out of money, the projects are bankrupt, they're not developing, that's a red flag there. You need to make sure the projects you have does work. You need to make sure they have a product or they are working aggressively to put a product out in the market and they are giving you all the updates. They are building. Fine. Even though the prices are down, they are building. That means as the market comes back up, they're putting in more brain power, they're putting in more energy, and this is valuable. So the people buy in, the price goes up. And when the price goes up, like when we went down, we were thinking 0.6 XRP, we went to 0.27. Similar, if you are looking for $5, it may shoot up to $7 first, drop back to 3.8, and then go back up to 11, 12, then drop again and then reach the top of wave 2, somewhere close to 16, 18, $20. Now, we'll have to see. It will change based on the volume and the news which we have at that time. But this is a general framework. If you have similar frameworks for other assets in your portfolio, that's going to be easy for you to know where you should be taking profit. Now, it will not be the perfect top. It doesn't matter. Imagine our last ETC trade, we bought around $4, $5. We missed 170. We took at 130 or just below that, maybe in 120s. That still was a great trade, right? Even though you missed the top because you waited for the confirmation for the safety purpose at the bottom and the top, you missed some, but you still made around 15x. Similarly, the market is going to show all these opportunities, and I'm going to post all of them in the Patreon. And I've entered different trades recently, and I've put the screenshots there in the Telegram alerts where you actually get what I trade, when I buy, when I sell, all those. And if you want that, look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, and start early next month. Not this month. It's already at the end of the month. You may get charged next month, and don't worry. If you're already entered in this week, I'm going to refund you as they charge next month. First week, I'm going to refund that. Don't worry. So guys, if you receive value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll meet you on the next video. Bye.